Alright guys, so the weather is good, and as promised I'm about to start testing this beast. Now something I haven't touched on in my previous video on actual putting the thing together, I wanted to mention, as I mentioned before, these two hoses here, the high pressure hoses, they were assembled to the control unit, but I had to assemble this, I had to attach this bit here and that bit on the bottom there as well. And because they obviously tested it at the factory, when I unscrewed the plug from this hose there's quite a bit of oil actually still in the hose, and it all obviously just went onto the ground. So you might want to keep that in mind when you undo the plug, just so you don't make a mess with all the oil coming out of there. And one more thing, these log guides here, as you can see, I attached them to the highest possible position. I mean, they're adjustable, you can bring them down according to the size of the log, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of a space between them, so I just don't see how adjusting them to the lower level will help, because it's basically going to bring down the guide much lower, and there's already quite a bit of a diameter here, as you can see. And by the way, this machine, the manual recommends splitting logs up to 300 centimeters or 300 millimeters, which is 30 centimeters in diameter. So there's quite a bit more here. So if you bring it down, it won't do any good at all. So that's, I suppose, could have been addressed a bit in the design stage, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, I prepared these logs here to test it out. Again, as I mentioned, machine, according to the specs, only designed to split logs up to 30 centimeters in diameter, and I prepared quite a few different ones just to see how far I can push it. I basically only bought it not to split these sort of size logs, because I can chuck them into my fireplace as they are and they'll burn just fine, but I got a few, like a lot of these guys, and I just don't want to crack them all with the X or the splitter. So that's why I bought this machine, and I'm hoping it'll handle this. So we'll basically start with these. They're just small logs, then move on to these. These are obviously harder timber. I don't know what they are, but they do look like quite a bit of a hardwood. And then we'll move on to this. I don't know, this is probably a brush box, I'd say. And we'll just see how that goes and how it handles it. And then we're gonna finish up with this bad boy. Again, it's not the hardest timber I imagine, but it's a big log, and I just want to see how we go with that. And I prepared this ramp here. Once I come to this big log, it's quite heavy, I'm just gonna put it onto the machine and roll it onto it, so I don't have to lift it, because it's it's easy to break your back on that one. All right, well, I did run the machine in earlier on today. I allowed all the hydraulic oil to go into all the hoses. I had to add about 1 liter, so in total the machine took about 9 liters. There's 9 liters of hydraulic fluid in it now. The manual says 11. Not sure if it'll take 11, but after I use it for a little while, I'll check. Maybe I have to top up. And one more thing, when I adjusted this, attached this hose here, and I filled in the hydraulic fluid holding tank, the hydraulic fluid only came up to here, and this was all empty space here, air basically. And I wasn't sure whether you need to prime it or not. There is a valve here which you can unscrew, and I suppose you can put oil in there. I didn't do that because I didn't think it would be necessary, and there's nothing about it in the manual. And then as I started the machine and started to move the cylinder back and forth, it sort of sucked in the oil, and it's now full, so you don't have to prime it. And there is a bit of oil from testing left in there, so it won't run dry when you start it without oil completely up in the pipe. So I think it's safe to just fire it up and just let it run a little bit and fill all the hoses and everything, and just top up after that before you first use, and you should be all right. So without further ado, let's get on to it. Okay guys, well, as you could see, it sort of chewed everything up nicely. Again, I can't say this is the hardest wood you can get, I mean, but I don't have any doubts it'll handle anything just as I expected. I mean, it all cracked up, and even the big one works a treat. I can't really fault it. I wonder how long it'll last, but otherwise it's very good. Easy to operate, I guess. The only thing is, of course, you know, if the log is heavy, it's a bit of a trouble, but as you can see, you know, you can come up with something to roll it in. And just getting back to these guides, as you could see, even the largest of logs, you know, fits easily into that, and that's the highest possible position. So again, you know, I think they could have made them a bit more versatile, but doesn't seem to be causing any problems. So yeah, good result, very happy, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and find it useful. Thanks for watching, and look out for some more videos. Might be doing something else on different stuff that you might find interesting. Cheers guys, until next time, thanks for watching.